Doodlemeyer here.
I think I'm going to go for the man bun look. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like how you ignored my Doodlemeyer.
Yep.
Anyway, Doodlemeyer here. While I'm changing my name to Doodlemeyer, welcome to another episode of Prison Q&A.
Yes, sir.
For anyone who is new here, which is probably no one because no one watches this.
On occasion, we delve into ask me some questions.
Because you've been to prison.
About the experience.
I have not. You got the answers. Right. I got the questions.
That's how it works.
So let's go.
As Bunny would say.
This is the question. And that is, what is the fight situation?
It's the worst question ever. What is the fight situation?
Yeah, like you got... Let's just say you get into some sort of trouble. You want to brawl. What do you do?
It depends on the prison you're at. Okay. Being Latino, like if I hit a unit and there was tension on the unit, especially racial or gang tension.
You want to brawl?
They would do this thing called the Quaritch Check, which means a heart check, basically, to see if you'd be willing to fight for your right to party. No, for your people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and other gangs and other races do it too, you know, to see where you stand. Now, you don't have to be in a gang to get one of these, but it's kind of like sort of expected. That being said, by the grace of freaking God, I never got a quota check. I never was checked to see where I stand. Not once. I even got asked by guards, did you get your quota check yet? Nope. Sure didn't. And
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like a weird procedure that you get done to you.
To my anus.
Yeah, you get your quota check yet.
Well, that was a whole different thing.
Like a guy putting something in your butt.
Well,
you get a cough.
Did see that too. But the point is, fights. I never got into any fights in prison, so there's that. I did see many a fight. Now, some people will tell you that if you go to prison, that's it, man. You're getting at least one fight. Didn't happen to me. I didn't get in a single fight. Not once. 5 years, not one fight. I got some close calls. I met some real assholes. I was even called out. Now, here's a big point of contention for a lot of people. In prison, if you don't fight, you're seen as weak. Or, you know, if you back out of a fight, you're seen as... You're going to get beat up or kicked out or something's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
I guess I just got lucky or blessed because I wouldn't say I backed out of a fight, but kind of sort of did. The one time that it came really close was with this, as established in other videos, there's race divisions in prison, whether you like them or not.
It's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
Fact.
And in this one dorm I was at, there was 2 Mexican tables, 1 white table, a table for domino playing where anybody could sit there as long as they played dominoes, and 2 black tables.
I want to be part of that race.
The domino race. Yeah. And there was 2 black tables, okay? And you didn't sit in any table besides the one where you're supposed to sit. I didn't know that, you know?
So you're just strolling up to...
Well, not necessarily that. I've been already there 2 weeks, and somehow, despite asking and making sure to get my bearings, nobody told me that this particular setup was the thing, which is unusual. They usually tell you, hey, look, this is what's up. So I just went and sat on one of these tables once, and it was the white table.
Well, you can pull off white.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to. Don't try to pull off another race.
All right.
But they thought, you know, that I was white.
Yeah.
So they didn't say shit. And one time, this black guy named Rahman, who was really cool, he come up and sit at that table with me. Again, I was unaware of that. And he says, hey, man, not white, are you? And I go, no, does that matter? And he goes, it may. And he goes, you're sitting at a white table. And I'm like, the fuck? I've been talking to these dudes the whole time. Because, you know, unless there's a war going on or some serious tension in the unit, people will get along with each other. They'll talk to each other and all that shit. It's no problem. He's like, yeah, you're at a white table. And I was like, okay, well, that's good to know. Please elaborate. So he explains the situation. I'm like, why didn't nobody tell me this?
Yeah.
The fuck is going on?
Thankfully, you had your Neil Diamond, so you're like, pretending to be white and listening to your Neil Diamond.
But then I'm like,
record, I guess.
But you're black, and you're sitting at this table. And he goes, yeah, because I'm cool. And I'm like, what the fuck? This was a cool-ass dude.
So the rules
suffice it to say. But, no, he was that cool. Literally. Nobody give a fuck.
All right.
And he called bullshit on me, but Rahman was the shit. But, anyway, I never had a problem fucking sitting there. Nobody ever said shit to me. Nothing, But this one time, black pal of mine was called White, by the way.
So that makes sense.
Ironically. He invites me to play Scrabble at one of the black tables.
Scrabble's like a thing.
He's big in prison.
Not gonna lie, after you came out, you were like, we gotta get a Scrabble thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, we could.
It's my shit.
And then I walked away.
And it's never been talked about since. No, yeah, he invites me to play Scrabble and shit. And I'm like, yeah, cool, man. If you got an invite, you're usually cool. You know what I'm saying? You're good. But all the black folk leave and shit to go outside the rec. And it's just me, White, who was black, and two of my pals. Big fat guy who stole bread from the kitchen, and my friend, my kind of weird Nelson Muntz looking friend, and we're all Mexican. So we're sitting there playing Scrabble, and the rec is called in, and this dude, man, this piece of fucking, if I've ever met a dirt human in prison, no, I've met worse than him, but he was just one of those people that tries to be tough. He wasn't a cool guy. He sucked. He's that guy that tries to be the tough guy every single moment. You're like, just shut up, please. Anyway, he come back in, and he's like, "What are you doing at our table?" And I'm like, "Well, this is what happened. This guy invited me," and so they start getting mad at White, who was black, about this whole situation. And I'm like, "Hey, man," like a fool, by the way.
Yeah.
I go, "Hey, man, I don't see your name written on this table."
Shit! You brought out the "I don't see your name" card?
The old fucking high school way to go about that. Yeah. And he says, "Oh, yeah?" Takes off his shirt, which in prison, that's it. You take off a shirt, you're going to fight. You know what I'm saying? So
That's why you never got into a fight, by the way. You're like, oh, man, it's
not
good.
He took off his shirt, and he goes, "All right, well then how about we catch a door?" Which means you're going to the one part of the dorm where the cameras don't point, which is by this exit door. It's not really an exit. If it starts burning, you're fucked. Yep. But anyway, it just says exit on it. But
what is that situation?
You're fucked.
All right.
So yeah, man, he's like, "You're gonna catch a door then," and I didn't back down. I didn't say no, I'm not gonna fight. In fact, I got up to him. I went up to his face and I said, "We're not gonna fight hidden away from everybody. If we're gonna fight, we're gonna do it in front of everybody." Thinking
he's gonna back down.
He's gonna back down.
You were like, "Damn, he's gonna think I'm badass."
Not really. I was just thinking people try to avoid trouble with the authorities in prison.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is gonna be the way to do it.
You're trying to play the cerebral game.
Yeah, I was the cerebral assassin.
To say, it failed.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, when I said that, I saw my homeboy come up behind me and do one of these little numbers.
That's pretty awesome.
Which is awesome. And yeah, man, he didn't back down. So there was
so you're like, shit, I gotta take off my shirt.
And I was like, fuck. Well, this didn't play out the way I expected it to.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm being raped by the seat, in case you're wondering what's shifting.
Yeah, and then my fat friend, he come up beside me as well. I had this guy over here. He come up beside me, and it was because of him that this fight didn't go beyond that point. Because he get between us, and he goes, "Hey guys, you don't need to do this, man." And then he turns to this guy. Well, his name was Nine. His prison name was Nine, by the way. His nickname. He turns to Nine, and he goes, "I got him, man. It's cool." And he pushes me back. And Nine's like, all right. So really, I didn't back down, and he didn't either. But then we both backed down.
Yeah.
Because really, he should have been like, "Nah, fuck that shit. We're doing this." But he didn't.
At that point, he was like, "Crap, I thought he was gonna back down."
Yeah. So
you were like, "I'm going to be the cerebral assassin, be like, let's do it over here. He's going to back down." He didn't back down, hoping that you would back down because he didn't back down. And then eventually you just got a mutual backing down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was really like a perfect confluence of events. Now, when my friend over here took me over here to the side, I told him, hey, thanks, man. And he's like, dude, you can't fight him. And I'm like, well, I don't want to fight him. And I go, I'm literally talking to this guy, and I tell, pretend you're talking to me and gesticulate wildly while you're doing it. So he starts doing one of these numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is good. So then I turn, and Nine and his boys are still, over there, fucking propped up, ready to go. If anything should pop off.
Getting their chrome pistolas ready.
Yeah. About to pop me. But then I go up to him by myself. Already, this could go wrong.
Yeah.
And I go, you know what, man? I apologize. My bad. That's your table. I just got out of sorts. I say we call it, what do you say? And I put my hand out. Surprisingly, he shook my hand. And that was that. That was that. That was the closest I got to a fight in prison. Now, there were other close calls. Most of them stupid. Mm-hmm. And most of them went away real quick. The other close call I had wasn't in prison. It was in jail while I was waiting to go to prison. And again, a black guy. This guy named Memphis.
Tennessee?
I don't know why he was called Memphis. I'm assuming people call themselves by their state or place, not state, but city or state of origin.
It's kind of like Nam in that way.
Yeah, kind of. And
was there a Brooklyn?
No, there was not.
Did he die?
Anyway. But this fucking guy, man, he used to make these weird little paper mache kind of statues, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I was invited to his cell, which he shared with 8 other people. And they lock you in there for an hour, and then they pop the doors and allow some traffic, and then they lock you again. So I was talking to one of his cellies, and I was drawing. And I had asked permission to draw on his bunk because it was to level. And he's like, yeah, man, go ahead. This being Memphis. So I was drawing there and shit, and he had his little weird things there, his little paper mache statuettes. And, they're pretty cool, whatever. And I'm drawing and shit, and they pop the doors, and Memphis come in to get something or other, and he accuses me of having fucked with his little things, and broken them. And he's pissed, dude. He is fucking beyond pissed. He's gonna kill me over a fucking paper mache thing. And I'm like, hey, man, I didn't touch your thing. Fuck you. You were right here, this and this and that. And I'm like, dude, I did not touch your fucking thing. And he was on a rampage. So we didn't have separate shirt and pants in jail. It was just a jumper. So he jumps out of his jumper, literally.
You're like, damn it.
And I'm like, well, that's it. Gonna have to get in a fight. Because the most fights I saw was actually in county jail. Fights every fucking second.
Bunch of people trying to be hard and shit.
Yeah, the room that I was in was the one that was least seen by the guards because it was at an angle. They called it the Thunderdome. And people would wake me up because I would sleep a lot because fuck that shit. I don't want to be around this fucking bullshit. I'll sleep a lot. People would wake me up and they'd be like, hey, Hollywood. It's going to do some rumbling. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'd get up and they'd fight and I'd go back in and go back to sleep or whatever. But this fucker wasn't even going to the Thunderdome. This fucker's going to fuck me up right there. And I did
This was beyond Thunderdome.
I went Cerebral Assassin on him again. Or not him, but I went Cerebral Assassin again. And I said...
What are these references?
I said, you know what, man? Go ahead and do what you have to do, but I ain't going to fight you back. And he says, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to fuck you up. And I said, that's fine. In fact, you know what? I'm going to sit down right here and you do what you got to do. And again, really I attribute this to the big guy in the sky more than me trying to play any fucking smart card. But he it kind of stalled him, kind of made him go, what the fuck?
By that you mean the obese roofer that's currently working on a roof.
Yeah. His name's Harold and he's about to fall through.
Yep.
No, but it kind of stopped him in his tracks, and he reconsidered for like a fraction of a second. In that fraction of a second, his cellies were like, "Hey, man, nah, man, he's good," and they calmed him down, and he just said, "Get the fuck out of my cell." Fair enough, it's your cell. I got out. An hour later, he come up and apologized to me, and he bought art from me, and I was like, "Fuck." That was lucky because that guy was involved in the worst fight I saw in county jail. So he definitely couldn't fuck me up. For sure. Especially because I was going to let him. But the point is, played out pretty well.
Yep.
But yeah, personally, I didn't see.
So the advice.
I wasn't involved in fights. So the advice is, if you
be like Triple H.
No, the advice is, if you're respectful to people, short of this, Quaritch Checks situation, where they require you to fight back to see where you stand. Short of that, if you're respectful to people, if you're not an ass, if you're not gambling and losing, if you're not involved in shenanigans or gangs, if you don't have a sex charge, all this shit, you're gonna be fine. You're more than likely not gonna get involved in some bullshit. Your mouth is your biggest impediment in prison. If you say something stupid, if you do something stupid, it's most likely gonna get you in a fight. And also situations like space, and there's not a lot of room in there and shit. Stuff like that. Cleanliness, all that stuff. If you keep on top of that stuff and you have respect for people around you, which a lot of people in prison don't. That's why they get in a lot of fights. They're too selfish. They're too concerned with themselves and what they want. If you can just put that aside and fucking be a normal fucking human being for a second, you're gonna be all right, man. If anything, I got more respect in prison than I did in real life, which is fucked up.
Next week we're going back to prison.
Yep. Yeah.
Apparently
Yeah, I don't know why you're going, but
got nothing else to do in life.
But yeah, man. That's that.
That was not a fart. That was my phone.
Yeah, that was a phone and a fart mixed together. But anyway, this has been Ahab and the Goontick talking about the fight situation as far as I saw it. But we'll talk more about fights in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, and hit those notifications. Because here we talk about everything. Movies, pop culture, books, farts,
prisons,
poop, food, and poop.
Yep.
But anyway, we're out.